How we doing, everybody? Happy weekend. It's coming up on Halloween, and as you can see, I have a bit of a sunburn, and that's because I did a signing today. My local comic shop had a parking lot sale, and I was invited down to do a signing for Destiny Aurora, hence the shirt. So I was outside all day, so got a little bit of a burn. So anyway, I wanted to talk about Halloween with upcoming Halloween coming, the actual holiday coming up. And it looks like this is a successful film. Based on numbers for opening day, ended up just beating Venom by this much, 33 million. And it seems like everybody's liked it so far, and I'm going to, of course, go into my review on it and what I would rate it. Everybody was kind of hesitant or apprehensive going into this because it was directed by mostly a TV writer and TV director slash producer slash writer. I don't know. I mean, he's a little bit of everything. David Gordon Green, and I looked him up as far as the TV credits that he's had, and I recognized none of them. So, and he also wrote it with Danny McBride, another comedian. So everybody was really apprehensive about what was going to happen with Halloween when it was basically in the hands of comedians and TV people, and I have to say that they did a good job. They obviously were fans of the original film, and it showed. So it was produced by Blumhouse, which is obviously the low budget horror kings nowadays. It used to be Lionsgate, and now Blumhouse is all over horror now, and you can't see a horror film without having Blumhouse's name somewhere attached to it. But anyway, the film was pretty decent, and we were all looking forward to Jamie Lee Curtis coming back.
So I can kill him.
And in this case, obviously, if you've seen the trailer, she's got the gun and whatever else, so she's very Sarah Connor. And this one, I think everybody is comparing her character to Sarah Connor. And of course, this film. Because even my brother asked me today. So he heard that everything from after the first one is negated. So this film basically is a sequel to the first movie, but 40 years later. And it is. That's exactly what it is. So the film is a sequel, as if number 2 never happened, as if H2O never happened. Return of Michael Myers is obviously another one as well. I can't remember off the top of my head. But there's been like 5 or 6 Halloween films, not including, of course, then there's also Halloween 3 that didn't even have Michael Myers even in it. And it was about masks. It was, I don't even know who thought of that. Let's do Halloween without Michael Myers. We'll just do a bunch of masks and we'll just make a Halloween, story about Halloween. It doesn't work. So anyway, of course, Jamie Lee Curtis. We have Judy Greer, who plays her daughter. Nick Castle is playing Michael Myers. Will Patton. Will Patton came back for played one of the officers. So we have 2 people playing Michael Myers. Just FYI, there's James Jude Courtney and Nick Castle. So I guess they went back and forth depending if there was a close-up or not. He also had his mask off at certain times, so they may have used one of those guys for that. And then it was like 3 generations of women.
Mom, what bus crash?
Michael escaped.
So you have Jamie Lee Curtis, and then you have Judy Greer, and then you have her daughter. And then you have Dr. Sartain, who was quote unquote the new Loomis. That was he was actually a line in the film like that. So but I won't give away anything about his role or what he does. So anyway, the film, as far as the directing is concerned, I wish that they did a lot of homages to the original. Okay, so they did a lot of stuff. They said, here, this was in the original, so we're going to throw this in. This was in the original, so we're going to throw this. I love that. Okay, there's only one scene that made me kind of roll my eyes, going, really? Other than that, I liked it. But I thought Judy Greer was completely miscast in this film. I love her like in Ant-Man and stuff like that, where she plays the mom, but here she just did not fit at all. I don't know how she got in there to begin with, and I'll talk about why she doesn't fit in the spoiler reviews. But I don't know how she got in there, but I don't know who made that decision, but it was a bad one. Kind of like when John C. Reilly was in King Kong, he kind of ruined it for me. When Judy Greer's scenes came on, it ruined it for me. So, and we'll talk about it again. We'll talk about why. But anyway, so directing, I really wish, how in the original film, because they didn't have a whole lot of money, and John Carpenter, who also wrote the music, I think he did the music for this one as well. You can't beat the Halloween music. I mean, it's so iconic. But anyway, so how they follow. It's almost like point of view of Michael, but not really. So it feels like always somebody's watching you. There's always this camera movement. I wish they did that more. I think they did it a couple times, but nothing like the first one. I really wish that the director kind of used that even more. And they can't say, well, we didn't do it because of money, because the first one didn't have any. So I think it was made for $300,000 back then. So in 1978, the dollar was 3 times. So now it would be $1 million or $900,000. So a little under $1 million, the original Halloween cost. And I think this one cost like $30 million or something like that. So what a drastic difference. But and I can't even understand why it cost that much, because who took the salaries on that? I'm sure they weren't paying Jamie Lee Curtis anything big, and she was the biggest name in the thing. Judy Greer, she doesn't ask for big bucks. So, and of course there was no special effects. It was obviously stunts and a little bit of blood and gore, but nothing. What I kind of like about it is that now we had Hellfest, and of course Hellfest didn't do very well financially, and I was kind of upset about that because I kind of wanted to see a sequel. But now, boom, we have Halloween. So up till now, we've had The Conjuring. We had one Saw come back, and I think that did pretty well. But we had only one, and now Saw is kind of gone again. So as far as the slasher film, obviously on some kind of a comeback, which is great. I love slasher films, obviously done correctly. But we've had supernatural. It's all been supernatural, ghost stories, etc., i.e. The Conjuring, and Insidious, and all those other things. But now we had the slasher film coming back, and I kind of like that, because I've had enough of supernatural horror. I'm looking for the villain, the unkillable villain.
He's waited for this night. He's waited for me.
I always liked that with Jason and Freddy and all this stuff. They tried to reboot Freddy and it just didn't work without Robert Englund. Where with Michael and Jason, you have people that don't speak. So, but obviously Michael has a lot more personality than Jason does, even though he doesn't say anything. He has a reason for being, and his reason for being is, which we really haven't even found out yet. And when I'm surprised they don't touch on it in some way. Because him being connected with Laurie Strode, it wasn't even put in until the second movie. So they weren't brother and sister. That didn't even happen until the second movie, because John Carpenter was looking for something to create a story around, because he didn't have one. So he's like, I got to, if we're doing another one, I got to have some kind of a story. So he came up with this link between them. But we don't even know why that link exists. We don't even know why she was adopted or why the family was separated, because she wasn't in the first film at all. So she wasn't in the house when he killed his sister the first time, which I think the name was Judith Myers, I think. But anyway, so anyway, I enjoy the fact that everything's back, and we're kind of getting through this new road. But anyway, let's get into spoilers. But what am I going to give this film? So the film has errors in it. There definitely is bumps in the road. But I think it was better than H2O. I don't think it was better than 2. So this is not the better sequel. 2 still remains the better sequel to Halloween. Of course, this also replaces it storyline-wise. So it's like as if 2 didn't exist. But anyway, if I was going to give it a rating, I would say a 7.5. So it's not really an 8. It's not great, but it's definitely good. And it's fun. So if you're a Halloween fan, go see it. If you're a horror film buff, definitely go see it. And if you just like the Halloween music, go see it. Anyway, I'm going to get into spoilers and go check that out. And again, thank you for watching and subscribe.